control your mind.
Ooh, why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back. Calling. Let me click over real quick to let my jag talk it. I eat it. Ooh, Pac-Man, that's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back. The way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack my bad, but I'm past that with a NASDAQ. That's cash when the money fall. I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go. You don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab. Brown man when it come back, I'ma give it back my bad when the check hit the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money. I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a. She an. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Atlanta Falcons. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's going to wind up in it. They've got his man complete. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us for their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now on 2nd and 13. Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Remember, Prater has hit from 64 earlier in his career. This one not quite as long, but good from distance nonetheless. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On third down, Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on third down, and you make the home crowd go.
There is a hush indeed. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He's checking. 22.
On 2nd down, Johnson. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. And chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. This is fielded at the 7. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On 2nd and 12, Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons have taken the lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Big 20.
Throwing on second down. Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter.
Lady! And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip. Check.
On first down, it's Johnson. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Throwing a Stafford. And that will be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it. Go. Ready for that?
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. It's Freeman. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down now. It's Freeman, and he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Ready, blue 80. Blue 80. 51, jump.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. We've seen these two, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, connect quite a few times over the years. It never gets old.
It never gets old. Well, maybe for the defense it does, but not for us who are watching it. And Julio, every time he steps on the field, you can just about mark him down for 100 yards. That's about his career average per game. But think about this. Getting in the end zone has always been a struggle for him. He gets the big yardage, but he doesn't get the touchdowns. Not this time. No matter how many people were kicked in coverage, he found a way to beat it.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
From the 31, Stafford. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play there for Detroit. 58 yards.
1st down, Detroit.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Ty Johnson, his 1st touchdown of the new season, as his guys are back within a single score. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. This time Ryan will throw. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Devon Kennard. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, it's Ryan. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
58. And 25 to Mike. We'll go 25 to Mike.
To throw again. Ryan. Open man here is Hamilton. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. They'll run on 1st down. Freeman. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 15. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Looking downfield for Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Detroit. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. 12 yards on the return that time. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
Ready,
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards. As he'll get this only back to the 20. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Trey Flowers picks up his second sack of the afternoon. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Hey, Tuesday. 951. I know he ain't got it.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Taking on the midfield logo.
At the 42-yard line.
Set. Get a 20. 58. Come on. Here we go.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the Falcons' 42-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Ryan. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Ryan to throw. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 33.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
51, Sam!
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So don't say nothing.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Ryan. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
51's the mic. 51's the mic.
From the shotgun, Ryan. That went into the hands of Hamilton. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Ryan now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they have that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
It's going to be a Lions day offense. It's going to be a Lions day.
Now Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Austin Hooper. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point splits the uprights. And that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. The Lions on 3rd down. Lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10.
That's going to be a long day.
And he'll give it here to his running back. They find some open field here. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. Pass the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now it's Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for the Lions. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Stafford now to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Once more, he was trying to get it to Kenny Galladay. And now it's 2nd down. To throw again. Stafford. It's complete to Hopkins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
From the red zone now, Stafford toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Lions passing game in sync now. They got another 1st down. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake it to football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And they will take a knee here.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Falcons, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.